After long 9 years of barrenness, a young woman asked the water goddess for a child. Little did she know what awaited her in the future. If you are new to my channel, you are welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's dive into the story. Beauty lived in quiet humiliation. In her village, a woman without a child was not simply pitied. She was questioned, measured. Every ceremony reminded her of what she lacked. Every wedding song felt like salt in a wound. Women who married after her carried babies on their backs while she carried silence. Her husband, Idris, tried to protect her, but whispers travel faster than love. Some elders hinted that she had angered the ancestors. Others advised Idris to take a second wife. Even children sometimes asked loudly, "Why doesn't Auntie Beauty have a baby?" One evening, after a particularly cruel market day, Beauty walked alone to the river to cry where no one would see her. She stepped into the shallow water and begged, not politely, not calmly, but desperately. "I will give anything," she said. The river grew still. Then the water rippled against the current. From the mist rose a woman radiant and terrifying, crowned in shells and dripping with pearls, the water goddess. "You are heard," the spirit said. Beauty fell to her knees. "I want a child," she whispered. The goddess studied her for a long moment. "A child you shall have," she replied. "But what comes from water always returns to water." Months later, Beauty discovered she was pregnant. "Do you hear that?" Beauty pressed her palm against her swollen stomach. Outside, the village was asleep. The wind moved softly through palm leaves. No dogs barked. No crickets cried. Her husband, Idris, lifted his head from the mat.
"Hear what?"
"Hear what?" Beauty's voice trembled. "It's singing." Idris frowned. There was no music in the house. But Beauty wasn't listening with her ears. The sound was inside her. Low, rhythmic, like water moving beneath stone. Beauty had waited 9 years for this pregnancy. 9 years of herbs. 9 years of prayers. 9 years of women whispering behind her back. When her belly finally began to rise, the village celebrated. "She has been remembered by the ancestors," the elders said.
"I can't believe our baby is almost here."
"I know. I am so ready to meet our little one.
"Me too."
I love you."
Idris carried her as though she were made of glass. But joy has weight, and sometimes it presses in strange ways.
"I feel so safe with you.
I will always protect you.
Look at the beautiful sunset."
The first sign came in her 4th month. Beauty stopped eating cooked food. The smell of smoke made her gag. "I want it raw," she insisted. "Raw," Idris repeated. "Fish. From the deep bend of the river. That is what the baby wants to eat." She would cry. Idris hesitated. The deep bend was sacred. It was not forbidden, but it was not a place villagers entered casually. That was where offerings were sometimes left when rains failed. Still, he loved her. He went. After she ate the fish, she slept deeply. Too deeply. When she woke, her skin was cold. Not fever cold. River cold. That night she dreamed. She was standing waist-deep in water that glowed silver under a moon that did not exist. A woman stood before her, draped in pearls and algae. "You carry what was promised," the woman said. Beauty tried to run. "But water does not let you run. You will return what belongs to us." She woke screaming. Idris held her. It was just a dream. But the baby moved violently under his palm, not kicking, turning, as if adjusting to a current. By the 6th month, strange things began happening in the village. The wells tasted faintly of salt. Fishing nets tore for no reason. Children playing near the stream claimed they heard humming. The elders called it coincidence. But coincidence rarely sings at night. Then came the night of the eclipse. The moon disappeared. The river swelled without rain. Beauty went missing from their hut. Idris found her standing barefoot at the water's edge, talking to nothing. "Soon," she whispered. "I understand." He pulled her back home. But when he touched her, he felt it. Her belly was moving differently, like something turning toward a call. The village priestess arrived the next morning. She did not smile when she saw Beauty.
Where did you fetch water during your first month of pregnancy?
The deep bend, I wanted the best.
That place was sealed generations ago.
Seal?
It is where the river keeps what it cannot bury.
Silence filled the hut. The priestess touched Beauty's stomach. The baby stilled. "This is not a curse," she said quietly. "It is a claim." The elders gathered. Long ago, when drought nearly destroyed the land, the village made a pact. If the river restored life to the soil, one life would someday return to it.
No one expected the river to wait this long.
No one expected it to choose this way.
Beauty listened to everything, rubbing her belly. By the 7th month, Beauty stopped sleeping at night. Not because of discomfort, because something inside her woke when the sun went down. Every midnight, her stomach tightened. Not like a kick, not like movement, like pressure, like something inside was pushing outward. Listening. Idris would wake to find her sitting upright, staring at the door. "Who are you waiting for?" he once whispered. Beauty didn't answer. She tilted her head slightly. "As if she is counting," he later told himself. Then the first drowning happened. A fisherman who ignored warnings about the deep bend vanished. His canoe was found broken, nets torn like they were sliced. The elders said it was an accident, but the old women murmured something else. "The river is restless." The second sign was worse. Children playing near the shallow stream claimed the water rose toward Beauty when she passed, not flowing, leaning, like a dog recognizing its owner. One child swore he saw her reflection blink when she didn't. After that, mothers stopped letting their children visit her hut. The village priestess returned. This time she did not knock. She walked straight inside and placed a white shell on Beauty's stomach. The shell cracked, clean in half. The priestess stepped back. "It has accepted her," she said quietly. Idris grabbed her arm. "Accepted what?" The priestess looked him in the eye. "The throne." The truth came slowly. Long before Beauty was born, the river spirit had a daughter, an heir. But during a drought war between villages, the river was poisoned. The spirit's child never survived. Since then, the river had been incomplete, powerful, but unbalanced. And when something sacred is incomplete, it waits. "You went to the deep bend," the priestess told Idris again.
That was
not fishing water. That was birthing water. Idris felt something break inside his chest. He had taken fish from the womb of the river. And now the river had taken something from his. Beauty began changing in ways she could not hide. Her skin shimmered faintly at night. When she cried, her tears tasted salty. Sometimes she would hum, not a melody from their land, but something low and tidal. Idris once touched her belly and pulled his hand back.
Why is it cold?
"Why is it cold?" Beauty's eyes filled with tears. "She speaks to me," she whispered. "Who?" "The woman beneath the water." And then it escalated. The wells began drying. But the river grew wider. Rice farms flooded overnight. Goats refused to drink from the stream. One morning, the chief's youngest son disappeared. His footprints ended at the water. The village gathered, "Bring that witch out." They shouted. Anger replaced fear. And anger always looks for a body to blame. They looked at Beauty. "She brought this curse upon us. She carries it. She is the doorway." The crowd gathered outside Idris' hut. Idris stood with a machete in shaking hands. "You will not touch my wife." But doubt had already crept into his voice. 'Cause deep down, he had started noticing things. When he argued with Beauty, water would spill from sealed pots. When he raised his voice, the air inside the hut became damp. One night, in a moment of exhaustion and fear, he shouted, "What are you carrying?" And the baby moved violently, not kicking, pushing outward. For a second, just a second, the skin of her belly stretched in a shape that did not look human. Idris stumbled back. He didn't touch her for 2 days after that. The labor came during a violent storm. But this time the storm was not symbolic. It was war. Lightning struck the river repeatedly. Water rose into the village streets. People screamed. Houses cracked. As Beauty screamed in labor outside, the river screamed with her. When the child finally emerged, the hut did not feel like land anymore. Felt submerged. The baby did not cry. She inhaled sharply, as if breathing water. Her eyes opened. And then, every single container of water in the village burst at once. Clay pots shattered. Wells overflowed. Roofs leaked from clear skies. The river had crowned its heir. But here is where the fire begins. The river spirit rose fully this time. Not in dream, not in whisper, in flesh, tall as a palm tree, hair flowing like currents. I have come for what was promised. The entire village fell to their knees. Idris did not. He held his daughter. She is my blood. The spirit's gaze sharpened. She is my throne. Little did Idris know that his wife got the baby from the water goddess. The water behind her formed a wall. Wait. Enough to erase the village. The chief stepped forward trembling. Take her. Spare us. The crowd murmured agreement. Sacrifice her. Sacrifice her, they all shouted. Idris, you cannot put all our life in danger. Idris looked around. People he had grown up with. People who celebrated his marriage. Now offering his child like tribute. That is when something inside him changed. Take me instead, he shouted. The river paused. The spirit's eyes narrowed. You are not enough. Beauty stepped forward. Her voice was steady now. No, but I am. The baby stopped moving in her arms. Listening. The spirit studied her. You touched my flesh. You accepted my breath. You knew. Beauty nodded slowly. Yes. Then you understand. Yes. Idris grabbed her wrist. No. Beauty looked at him, not in fear, but in clarity. She is not a monster, Beauty said softly. She is a queen. Then she did something shocking. She walked into the water, with the baby. The water rose around them, the baby did not cry. She reached toward the river spirit, and smiled. But when the spirit extended her arms, the baby suddenly screamed, not like a child, like thunder breaking. The water recoiled violently. The river shook. The spirit staggered back. Because the child was not just river. She was human. And human blood carries something spirits do not control. The baby clung to Beauty's neck. The river began pulling in both directions. Spirit against mother. Ancient claim against living bond. The river roared. The ground split. And then, the baby chose. She turned her face toward her father, and reached out. The water collapsed. The spirit screamed, not in rage. In realization. The throne had rejected her. The river shrank violently. Floods disappeared in seconds. The spirit's form cracked like glass under pressure. You cannot deny blood forever, she whispered. And blood cannot deny water forever. Then she vanished beneath the current. The baby's eyes slowly turned brown. But the river did not calm completely. It lowered, but it did not forgive. Years later, during another drought, Amanda, all grown now, was running up and down with her blue hair. Bella whispering, slowing to her husband. Idris, she said, I'm sorry for not telling you that I got Amanda from the water. From today we will always hope on God to give us our own baby.